What's up, YouTube? Dr. Kemp here, Hammond Doc. I said in a previous video that I might make another video dealing with Leslie upper drivers. So here it is. Here we are. I'm going to do that. What I did was I pulled some of the Leslie upper drivers that I have on my shelf and put them here on my desk, and so we're going to talk about these drivers. Now, in doing this, I'm not going to go into specs. You can look the specs up on the internet and read about the driver that you're interested in, or the drivers plural that you are interested in. But for this session, what I will do is show you the drivers and talk a little bit about them based on my experience. Now, these are the drivers that I use in my personal Leslies and in Leslies that I work on for customers. And I'll show you the drivers that I use as replacement drivers for customers' Leslie cabinets as well. The most popular driver that is used, or that is discussed in Hammond organ circles, is the Jensen V21. That's what I have right here in my hand. This is a Jensen V21, vintage Jensen V21. This is a clean one, and I mean, it's real nice. But you can't go on the basis of the looks. You have to actually test it, or you have to put it in, connect it to a crossover and an amplifier, and play the organ through it, and you can see how it sounds. And this particular one sounds marvelous. These were made back in the 60s, and most of them were made in the 1960s, and so therefore the diaphragms have shifted or have gone bad in many of the Jensen V21s. So you may find yourself having to either adjust, taking this top off. That's another video, removing this plate and adjusting the placement of the diaphragm and getting it centered properly so that it will sound loud and clear. Otherwise you can get buzzing. That's what it'll sound, it'll buzz if it's not properly centered. And then you could center it all you want to, and it still buzz, and what you have to do is end up replacing it. Now I have a new replacement diaphragm here that's, I mean, it's in a sealed box, so I haven't even cracked the seal here. But and so I don't have one that I've already have open. But what I have in this box, obviously I've replaced them before. This is from a PD, an Atlas PD, and the diaphragms for the V21s look very similar to this. I mean, this is what the diaphragms, they look sort of like this, okay? So if I were to open this box and pull out the new V21 diaphragm, it would look very similar to what you're seeing here. Okay, that's a used one that I have on my display shelf, and I just pulled it off just to show you that. I'll talk about the PD in a moment. But just a little bit more about this V21. If you're looking for the authentic vintage Hammond B3 sound, then this is what you're looking to have in your Leslie 122, 147, or 251, or Leslie 47, or 22H. These are the upper drivers that went into those Leslie cabinets and this is what you would want to have if you're looking for that authentic, original, vintage Hammond organ sound. This is it. This is it. If you're a purist, if you're a collector, this is what you want to have in your Leslie tone cabinet. This is the one. So it gives you that classic Hammond sound. Now, there are others that have been produced, that have been made, and all of these cost money. I don't have any cheap, inexpensive Leslie upper drivers here. I'm not going to try to show. You know, I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research on drivers that could be used and tried in the Leslie, and other people have experimented with spending their money, and I've read what they had to say, and nothing that I've read was positive about the inexpensive drivers that you could spend $20 or $25 or $30 on and put in your Leslie. I've not heard anything positive about any of those drivers in my reading. I've not read anything that says go out and get one of those. So you're going to have to spend money to get that quality sound. So let me share with you some alternatives if you want to try some other drivers other than a replaced diaphragm or replacing the diaphragm in your V21. Here are some options for you. Now this is a Atlas PD driver. This is one that I purchased off of eBay, and this is not the one that you would normally want to get. When you buy them new, you want to get the Atlas PD 60A. That's what you would want to purchase. That's one like this. This is a PD. I just removed the base. This base part, I took it off of this. That's what I did. I'll talk more about this one in just a moment. This is what it looks like, but it's gray with a gray base. I have one on my shelf. In fact, I'll show it to you. Right over here. That I removed. Just to cut down on the bulkiness. So here it is right here. See, I just took that off. I'll set that over here. I'll talk about it in a moment. So you want the one with the gray base. This is the PD60T. Now, in order to use this, you would want to open it up and remove the transformer inside here. The PD60A comes with no transformer in it, so that's the one you want. That's what you would want to buy. So if you saw one of these on eBay, you would know that you would need to remove the transformer on the inside, before you use it. I've tried using one of these before with that transformer, and it doesn't sound good. It doesn't play like you want it, so you have to remove that. Okay. Now this is the Atlas PD60A. This is a little tag on there because I had to put it back on the bench. Here's the thing about these. I've reconed V21s with great success. It was not very difficult to do. It took some time, took patience. But when I reconed this PD60A, it buzzes. It's still buzzing. So I'm going to have to reset it. I'm telling you, trying to get this thing right has been a traumatic experience. It's not very encouraging. It's a hard job. Here's the diaphragm. This one has a new diaphragm in it. Here's the diaphragm for it. It's called the D201B. This is what the brand new diaphragm looks like. Comes in this little brown box. So you can get a diaphragm for the Atlas PD speaker. But I'm telling you, trying to make that thing work properly. It took me a while to get it, first of all, to get it installed. Then once I got it installed and tried it out, the thing is buzzing. I'm going to have to open it up again and reset it again, and it's been a headache. I'm just telling you the truth on that. So, but I'll work with it at some point this summer and see if I can't get my speaker working, because I mean, I spent the money to buy the diaphragm, so I want the thing to work. I might have to contact the company. I've talked to the guys at a technician at Atlas. I don't know if I'll have to send it to them and let them set it for me or do, because I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to try it again and see what I can do. And then if it doesn't work out, then I'll call Atlas and ask for some technical assistance. Okay? Now, this is the base that goes. This thing came out of it. Thing was sitting in this tub, so it, it looks like that. And you see this big old bulky thing sitting in your Leslie. I've put them in there before. Just they're so heavy, and so it's easier to remove that. Just remove this thing. It's not too heavy. That's not heavy, but it looks so bulky inside the cabinet. And once you put the back on, nobody can see it anyway. But this just looks cooler and neater. Now, another Leslie driver that I was just recently introduced to was one that I bought from Bill Brown of BB Organ. And so Bill sold me this driver, and you notice it has to have the plate. You need that plate to then install this cylinder here and everything. This part goes on top of, fits over that plate. So in order for this part to work, which your rotor goes on top of this, you have to have one of these plates, and these plates spin right off the top. I have a plate here. This is a plate. There's all these plates spin over the thread, and here, and allows you to then install the rest of the setup so that you can install your driver in your Leslie tone cabinet. And this speaker sounds fantastic. It has supposedly the similar characteristics to the V21. So if you're not into putting new diaphragms into your upper driver, you don't have time to do that, or you don't want to do that, you'd rather not do that, or you have difficulty getting that done or accomplishing that particular task, then BB Organ sells this. And you can look them up, look up Bill Brown, BB Organ, or on the internet, and you can purchase one of these from Bill. And you can see the prices and everything, the price on there for this particular driver. And the amplifier for the Leslie is a 40-watt amplifier, and so this particular speaker is rated for the 40-watt amplifier. The PD60 I think is rated a little higher. Like I said, look up the specs and on this. Now, another amplifier, another speaker that I just got. I mean, this is brand spanking new. I loved the Leslie Ferrofluid drivers from Hammond Suzuki, and Bill Brown was the one that introduced me to that as well. The Leslie Ferrofluid drivers, and then something happened with between the company that made the ferrofluid drivers and Hammond Suzuki. I don't want to get into all of the things that I've heard about how they were being cheaply made because Hammond Suzuki wanted them made a certain kind of way and so forth and so on and so on. But people started having problems with those ferrofluid drivers, and I even ran into one or two that gave me problems. I installed them, and it was sounding good, and then the musician cranked it up, and bam, it just went out. It just went, and I had to replace it. I found I had another ferrofluid that I was able to put in its place. And then once those ferrofluids go bad, there's no diaphragms for them. All you can do is just toss it, just throw it away. In fact, I'll show you. I kept the plate to that ferrofluid. There it is. That's what it looks like. So there were a batch of these that were made. That's what it looked like, and then it had some kind of top on the thing, this kind of deal. So there were a batch of these. They were rated at 100 watts, ferrofluid driver, custom built for Leslie. Most of them that I used were fantastic. I mean, they are still in operation today, in my customers' Leslies, in Leslies that I have, there are no problems. But I, as I said, ran into, now I guess, I don't know if there's a certain serial number down there, but there was a batch, and I couldn't tell you what the serial numbers is. You would have to do your research on that. But there is a batch of these that are out there in the world that are not good. They are bad. And so that became a problem for Hammond Suzuki. And so what they did was they had a new ferrofluid manufactured that would eliminate the problems of this bad batch. As far as I'm concerned, they could have gone back to the new, the other ones that weren't a bad batch. Those were good, but they decided to come with this, to have these done. So this is brand new from Hammond Suzuki. I ordered this straight from Hammond Suzuki. What it says here, it says PA-D50Z. And then it gives you some more information down there, some more letters and so forth. But this is what it looks like. This is what the bottom of it looks like. And then you can see the top of the diaphragm, the center of the diaphragm right there. Look at there. Red in there. I don't want to touch that thing, but I do. Whoa. That's the diaphragm in there. And this is a ferrofluid. This is a ferrofluid speaker, and I guess they drop that ferrofluid liquid down in there to keep it keep this diaphragm cool, so that you can push this thing. And I haven't really tried this thing out in a large venue anywhere to really see what it'll do. But because I just got it literally just a few weeks ago, but I expect that it's going to do what it's supposed to do, and that it sounds like a Leslie ferrofluid driver. So if anybody has experience with these, drop me a comment on on the YouTube comment area, in the YouTube comment area, and let me know what your experience is with these brand new Leslie Ferrofluid drivers from Hammond Suzuki. Well, that's pretty much it. That's all I have. There are some other drivers out there that people are using, and but as far as I'm concerned, if I were going to put a new driver into a customer's cabinet, I would use either this or this. That's now. As far as this is concerned, the PD, I've had one PD go out. I talked to another technician, a couple of technicians, Leslie Hammond organ technicians, and they've never had problems with the PD 60. I've had problems with one PD60. Actually, it was this one. I had problems with this one. That's why I put a new diaphragm in it, because the diaphragm died. And but I had another PD60 that's still in use. It's still in operation. It's fine. I bought two at the same time. And given the problems that I've had personally with trying to put the new diaphragm in this one, because it went out on me, I would recommend, as a technician, I would put in a customer's cabinet, I would say, what do you want? Do you want the traditional vintage sound? Is that what you're looking for? Which is a smoother, which gives you that smoother tone for your type of playing? I would use this. If you like that cleaner, more CD sounding quality, you can be playing loud and hard and Kojic style, shout music, I want this. My personal preference, I want this. I mean, my style of playing the Hammond organ, this is what I want. I have a friend, I know this is what he would want. I know my buddy, I'm going to call him out, Dr. Daniel C. Cross. Danny Cross, this is what I would put in Danny's Leslie. Because, I mean, his style of playing and the way he his smoothness and the way he likes the organ to sound, Danny would love this Leslie speaker. He would love this one. I would love it. I love it too. I love it too. But my style is a little bit more aggressive than Danny's style, and I play louder, and we come from different backgrounds and different churches, and so we have different ways of doing things, and this would be mine. So if you're smoother, Baptist, Methodist, hymns, quieter style of church service, older, you want that more vintage sound, here, Church of God in Christ, Kojic, Pentecostal, PAW, Church of God founded by Jesus Christ, Holiness, Pentecostal Holiness, Fire Baptized, United Holiness Church. Come on with it. Hey, this is it, guys, right here. This is the Ferrofluid, all right? So, that's it for today. Hammond Doc saying to you, peace out.